Hello, lovely people. You are all welcome to my channel. Thank you for tuning in. Today, we are preparing a favorite dish known as cocoyam porridge or impoto. So, with this dish, the base ingredients is usually cocoyam or yam. But for me, I think cocoyam tastes way better. So, I went for cocoyam. So I've already peeled, washed, and then cut it into very small pieces. And then I also added pepper, tomato, salted fish, which is the style of the dish. I added smoked fish, and then I also added salted beef. And now I am adding my onions. For the onions, I used a full sized onion. Most people, if you don't really enjoy onions, you can decide to reduce the amount of onions that you use. But for me, I really enjoy onions, a lot of onions in my dish. So I added one full size onion. And then afterwards, I added a little salt. Now you need to be very, very careful when you're adding your salt because of the salted beef in the dish. Anyways, you can decide to manipulate the proteins that you use. It depends on you. But for me, I think the beef and the fish gives it an amazing flavor and taste. So that is why I chose those forms of proteins. And then afterwards, I covered it and then waited for about 20 minutes. Sorry. And then after 20 minutes, I checked and my pepper and tomato were all done. So I decided to grind it. And then you need to make sure that you grind it very well to reduce particles inside your dish. And I will take this moment to say a very big thank you to all my returning subscribers. I also say a big thank you to those of you who are tuning in for the very first time. Please do also subscribe to my channel if you have not done that already. Also, you should know that all your comments are welcome. Leave all your comments for me, and I'll be very happy to get back to all of you as much as possible. So, after grinding this for about 3 minutes, it was all done. So, I added it back to the dish and then covered it for another 10 minutes. And after 10 minutes, it was all done. So I decided to scoop out about half or more than half of the cocoyam and then grind it because I don't really enjoy it when the chunks of cocoyams are a lot. So I usually grind most of the cocoyam, but there are some people who rather enjoy the dish when the cocoyam chunks are in there. So this part too depends on your choice. If you want the chunks in, that's fine. If you don't want the chunks a lot in the dish, you can also decide to grind it as I did. So after grinding the cocoyam, I realized that it was too thick. So I added more water. So if you're a mom or you just feel lazy, you see sometimes you are not in the mood to cook um the traditional dishes that we know, rice and stew, fufu and soup, you can go in for this simple dish. And I'm sure your kids are going to enjoy it. All you have to do is just reduce the amount of peppers that you use to stop it from being too spicy. So after manipulating it to the consistency that I wanted, I also added my palm oil and then covered it for 5 more minutes to make sure that the palm oil will melt into the dish naturally. And guys, just look up the dish. Look at it. It looks amazing. So as soon as I realized that it was all done, I turned off the heat from under the dish, because if you allow it to continue to cook, it's going to burn underneath. And since I didn't want that, I turned off the heat and got my saucepan, no, my plate rather, because I couldn't resist the temptation of enjoying this dish. Another advice that I have for you is that the dish is usually very hot. So it's not advisable to serve it in a bowl, because if you do so, it's going to take a long time before it actually cools off for you to enjoy. So it's best that you go in for a plate. This will help it to cool down quickly for you so that you can enjoy it. So I scooped as much as I wanted, and guys, it's so delicious. I would like to say a big thank you to all of you for staying with me up until the end of this video. I appreciate you so much, and I'll be very glad if you actually try your hands on this and get back to me on it so that we can share our experiences together. It's so delicious.